and hi everyone. I'm NURUL SYAZWANI and I'm very sure my topic is very interesting. I want to share it. The topic is the cruelty of Raja Bersiong has terrified the people in Kedah. Raja Bersiong's real name is Raja Ong Mahapurita. He is the fourth king of the Merah Mahawangsa dynasty. His Majesty ruled under the rule of the old Kedah kingdom. He likes to hunt animals, especially deer. Because His Majesty loves to hunting, so His Majesty decided to train dogs to help in his hunting. During his reign, His Majesty ruled the land in a very cruel manner. No one dares to disobey the orders because they will be punished and tortured if they do. The incident became more tense when His Majesty found that two fangs had grown in his mouth. And thus the king felt afraid or proud of himself. It caught my attention to study this topic because the place I study currently is in Kedah. My first main point is how and why fangs have grown in his teeth. Usually when Raja Bersiong returns from hunting, His Majesty wants to eat his favorite dish, which is meat curry, especially from his catch. When he reached the palace, his curry was ready to eat. But something strange happened. The curry His Majesty eating was different. In fact, it was twice good as the original taste. His Majesty called the maid that cooked the dish to ask what ingredients she put in that curry. The maid said some of her blood had dripped into the dish due to her carelessness. The maid was very afraid if Majesty would scold her, but he didn't. Plus, he said to put more blood into the cooking after this. His Majesty ordered his guards to kill his prisoner to satisfy his appetite. The next point is what was the state of Raja Bersiong's government when His Majesty realized that had fangs in his mouth. From his cruel, two fangs finally grown in his mouth. His Majesty called an old minister to check his condition. After being examined, he is very proud of his fangs, and this news scared all people in Kedah. Because of this too, His Majesty committed the murder of children to satisfy his desire for blood. Third point is the poison in the cooking to kill His Majesty. Being sad due to the cruel actions of Raja Bersiong, his maid added the poison to the food that Majesty will eat. However, her plan failed because the food spilled into the floor. The two dogs ate that food and died on the spot. It was revealed his maid tried to poison him, and yes, the maid confessed it. His Majesty ordered his guards to cut his throat and punish her. The last one is how did the names of Bali and Seong come about? This war happened between the fishermen and the Raja Bersiong soldiers. During this war, a minister of Raja Bersiong was not in the country. After he returned, he was very disappointed and decided to oppose Raja Bersiong by got support from His Majesty's soldiers. His Majesty ran deep into the forest and tried his best to pull out his fang until he succeeded. And he threw away his fangs very far. From this story, the place in Kedah that is Bali is the place where Raja Bersiong pulled out and threw his fangs, and Seong is the place that his fangs fell after being thrown. Finally, times and this is. Hopefully, the legendary story that I share can teach us all a lesson. One of the lessons we can learn is that we should never be cruel to people who are poorer than us, because it will eventually tarnish the image of ourselves as an individual. Next, we should not be arrogant and flaunt from the advantages that we have, because those advantages do not last forever, and maybe it can eat us in the end. That's all from me. Thank you.